Reactive training systems.
Let's talk a little bit about what it means to build momentum. You guys hear me say this from time to time. Hey, make sure that you take what's there and build some momentum. We'll see you next time. So what do I mean by that? I've outlined this before in articles that making gains in powerlifting, in bodybuilding, in any sort of iron sport, and then really in sports in general, is not a fast thing. It's fast in the beginning, or it seems fast in the beginning, but really to get anywhere meaningful, we're talking about putting in lots and lots of time of hard work. And I think the most sustainable way to do that is to build momentum. Now, what do I mean by build momentum? I mean, let's say that you're training, you're in the middle of your training cycle, and all of a sudden you have a really bad session, and things seem to have gone backwards by about 20 pounds for whatever reason. You know, even if you know what the reason is, like you're just not getting very good sleep and recovery and you've lost some weight, that's why your strength is down. I would still recommend that you take a build momentum approach. Now, what I mean by a build momentum approach is that the next week you don't automatically just go for a PR just because those things have somehow changed. You know, you get a couple good nights sleep and you have a few good meals, you don't all of a sudden just go for your PR. Building momentum means to take where you are, or at least where you just were, and try to build on that in a small and incremental way. And then the next time you try to build on this latest performance, and then you build on it again and again and again, and gradually it's like pushing a car. In the beginning you push and push and push and the thing barely moves, but then as you continue to push and building up speed a little bit at a time, you can build up quite a bit of speed until you're pushing this car at a full run. It's a similar sort of mindset when you look at building momentum. You want to take what's there, of course. So if you're having a good day, take it. And if you're having a bad day, well, then adjust your plan. Take what's there and try to build on your latest performance in some incremental but meaningful way. And trust that over time, those incremental performances are going to stack up on top of each other, and eventually you get to some place that's much further down the road than you otherwise would be. The problem with the alternate approach of just going for a PR, well, I got some good night's sleep and stuff like that, and you just go for a PR, that doesn't work very often. And a lot of times it doesn't work in some catastrophic way. Now, how many people actually do that? Maybe not that many. So build momentum becomes this sort of slogan that a lot of people know, but it helps relieve some anxiety. You have those bad sessions, or maybe something happens and you have to take some time away from training. When you come back to training, you have to start this process all over of building your momentum back. You make that first week is always the hardest because you're having to reestablish where you are, reestablish where your strength is at, and then gradually make some improvements on top of that. So by telling yourself, hey, it's okay, I have to rebuild my momentum, it's sort of an acknowledgement of being where you are and making some incremental improvements on top of that as you go forward. So that's what I mean when I say build momentum. And I think it's important. It's one of these core concepts that a lot of people do. That's just kind of how we verbalize it here. You need to build momentum in your training, and so make sure that you're doing that in your training this week. As always, take what's there, build some momentum for next week. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Reactive training systems.